Égalité, fraternité, are not only values that the French people care so deeply about, but they are values that we share. And those values are going to endure far beyond any act of terrorism or the hateful vision of those who perpetrated the crimes this evening. We're going to do whatever it takes to work with the French people and with nations around the world to bring these terrorists to justice.
The president earlier this evening, Chip Reed, is at the White House. Chip?
Scott, the president also called the attacks heartbreaking, and he said that he talked with President Hollande by coincidence earlier today because there's a G20 economic summit in Turkey. The president is scheduled to leave for that summit tomorrow. He did not say whether those plans are still on, and perhaps more importantly, in just over 2 weeks, President Obama is scheduled to go to Paris for a massive climate summit. That is something that it's still not clear whether that could possibly be postponed. But Scott, as you can imagine, with more than 100 world leaders there, it will be a security nightmare.
Chip Reed at the White House. Thank you, Chip. We spoke a little bit earlier this evening with Stephen Sanchez, who is a freelance journalist in Paris. Mr. Sanchez, what did you see? What did you hear?
Well, I was about 3 blocks away from the soccer stadium when I heard 1 or 2 loud explosions. It may have been 1, and it may have just been hearing an echo, but what sounded like 2 loud explosions. I was walking out of a restaurant, and I was getting ready to walk back to my hotel when I heard the explosions. I started walking in the direction that I thought the explosion had came from. I started walking that way when I saw just crowds of people trying to run out of the stadium as the police were getting there.
What else did you see in those moments after the explosion?
I saw the president of France. They were whisking him away. He was at the game and he got out within, I'd say, maybe a minute or 2.
What about the explosion? What did it sound like? Was it a pop or was it more of a thunderous kind of blast?
It sounded more of like a thunderous blast. First, I initially thought it may have been fireworks because I knew the friendly was going on tonight, and I thought maybe the game had just finished. So when I looked into the skies after I heard that loud bang, there were no fireworks, and that's when I knew it had to be something pretty serious.
Freelance reporter Stephen Sanchez tonight. Thank you, Stephen. Now, we are getting reports just now of automatic gunfire and more explosions at the Bataclan concert hall. It was attacked earlier this evening by the terrorists.
Sounds like what they done to that marathon.
There were a number of hostages being held. Apparently, French forces are engaged with terrorists at the concert hall. Witnesses are reporting automatic gunfire and explosions there right now. Michael Morrell is a former number 2 at the CIA. He is our CBS News senior security contributor. Michael, what have you made of this so far?
Scott, one of the things that strikes me
you're not going to take them. No time to find out what
we're talking about
what happened though and who done it, because surveillance.
And
they got the eye in the sky.
French intelligence and French security. That is very difficult to do. It's a level of sophistication we haven't seen since the London bombings.
Everybody's being tracked.
And what does that level of sophistication tell you about?
Only thing is, they don't know where everybody's at.
Scott, the key question and responsibility
so
comes down to this.
They're going to try to implement the mark of the beast so that they can pinpoint everybody's location.
Possibly meeting in a mosque or meeting in prison.
Know exactly where everybody's at.
Overseas by either ISIS or by Al Qaeda in Yemen.
And then
ISIS has been working on its capability to conduct this kind of attack in Europe.
On your forehead, linking you to the internet to take over
the Charlie Hebdo attack.
mind control.
In January, 17 people were killed by 3 gunmen who were Islamic radicals. And then in August, we recall, 3 Americans stopped a man with a machine gun on a train.
They can take you down without even touching you, tasing you or anything,
why France and why
by one little tap of the button.
I think, France is a leader in the coalition.
I seen that when they were, that stuff was showed me when they was coming out with the Wii.
So I think it tends to
handheld controllers, wireless.
Morrell, former number 2 at the CIA. Michael, thank you.
God was showing me that man would be linked up to the computer.
Now that France has said that schools will be closed in the Paris region. A number of subway lines in Paris have been closed as well tonight. At the United Nations, the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon condemned the attacks.
All this is a fear tactic.
Despicable terrorist attacks. President Obama earlier today at the White House.
It's a fear
said
tactic.
that this was not just an attack on France. It was
Implement martial law all over the world.
Before we move on to other news, a quick recap. Multiple terrorist attacks unfolding in Paris tonight.
It's a fear tactic.
At least 60 people have been killed. Many more are wounded.
They're behind
Those
it
numbers
themselves.
are certain to change as we get more certainty about what has happened. But 3 attacks at a theater, a soccer stadium, and a restaurant on a busy Friday night.
They're behind it themselves. They cause it to happen.
We will have all of the latest developments. Now,
They have their cronies
the Pentagon says it appears that the ISIS executioner
going forth.
Jihadi John was killed by a U.S. drone strike in Raqqa, Syria, which is an ISIS stronghold.
They
Once
say
again,
all the world's a
here's Shipper.
stage. Everybody
With
has
his
their
angry
place.
rants and masked face, Mohammed Emwazi became a global symbol of the barbaric brutality of ISIS.
Good against evil.
Will continue to strike the necks of your people.
In 2014, for all the horrified world to see, Jihadi John, as he became known, beheaded several Westerners, including 3 Americans, journalists James Foley and Stephen Sotloff, and aid worker Peter Kasich.
We all have a work to do.
And killing him is probably making the world a little bit better place.
Army Colonel Stephen Warren in Baghdad today said the Pentagon is, quote, reasonably certain Emwazi was killed last night by a Hellfire missile fired from a U.S. drone near the ISIS
We all
stronghold
have
of
a work
Raqqa,
to do.
Syria. Emwazi was born in Kuwait, grew up mostly in London, where he became radicalized. He left for Syria
We all
in
have a
2013.
work to do.
Critics of the Obama administration
We all have our
argue it is
places.
doing far too little to fight ISIS. But today, White House spokesman Josh Earnest used the targeting of Emwazi.
We all have our
I think
places.
it is clear evidence that we are making
We all
important
have our
progress in
places.
one element of our strategy, which is
It's
apply
time to
pressure
take your.
to
It's time to take
the
your
ISIL leadership.
step.
Outside his New Hampshire home, James Foley's
Step
father,
into the
John,
place that your
saw
feet
things
has been prepared for.
won't bring him back. Don't change the war. You know, we need to eliminate ISIS. Not Jihadi John.
Step into the place where your feet
President
has
Obama
been
did not
prepared for.
specifically order this attack because the operation was in the hands
Step
of the
into the
Pentagon
place
staff.
where your
They
feet
say
has
it
been
could be
prepared
days
for. Lay
before they
down the
have definitive
childish,
proof that Jihadi John
baby-fied
Chip Reed at the White House. Chip, thanks
whiny
very much. Now
games.
more on the unfolding terrorist attacks.
And man
We
up.
have a witness to tonight's events. His name is Julian Pierce. He spoke
There are
earlier
souls
tonight
out
to
there
CNN.
that need
Julian,
you.
What did you see?
It's time to become a man
3 or 4 times their weapons, and they
and let the foolishness go.
anything. They didn't say anything. They were not. They were wearing black clothes, and
The kingdom of heaven is nigh.
on the floor, shooting them.
It is nigh.
And,
It is nigh.
I was luckily at the top of the stage, in front of the stage, so people started to try to escape, to work on people on the floor and try to find
We are
exit.
called
And
and we are chosen.
an exit when the terrorists reloaded his gun in the meantime, and I climbed on the stage
For such a
and,
time as
found
this.
an exit. And when I went on the street, I see 20.
This is our
25
destiny.
bodies lying on the floor, and people were very.
We will be here till the
wounded.
end.
And I took her.
We will be here till the end.
She was.
We will be here till the end.
And,
All must be fulfilled.
I ran with
All must be fulfilled.
for,
All
200
must be
meters,
fulfilled.
and,
All must be
and I found
fulfilled.
a Canada taxi, and
It's
I
time now.
let her in, and,
It's
I
time
said,
now.
"Kept
It's
over,
time now
go to your
for
office."
you all
And
to
I
get in a
put
hurry.
right now, who are
It's time now
inside
for you
the
all
background,
to get in a hurry, to get in a hurry, to get in a hurry, to get in a hurry. I say to thee, get in a hurry now, get in a hurry now, get in a hurry now. My coming, my coming, my coming, it's nigh, it's nigh, it's nigh, even at the door, even at the door, even at the door.
This moment, the scene of an ongoing police assault. This is the theater where we were told there could be as many as 100 hostages. The French president has confirmed that an assault is underway by French forces at that theater, the Bataclan concert hall, where the hostages were being held. Witnesses near the concert hall have reported automatic weapons fire and explosions in the area, but we do not have any more than that. Elaine Cobb is our correspondent in Paris, and she is joining us now again live. Elaine, what do you hear?
Scott, French media are reporting that there is indeed an assault underway at the Bataclan where the hostages were being held. Some reports are saying that several people have already been released from the concert hall, that they have been taken out by police. There have been reports of explosions and shooting there. Still unclear if it's over, it's still underway. But as we said earlier, the anti-terror police have taken charge of the investigation here. There are intervention teams all around the area. They've been blocking roads across the area where the Bataclan is and where that restaurant was around Wake Publique for the last few hours, and all the metro stations in that area are now closed and trains are not running through there.
Elaine Cobb reporting.